Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We are all George. We're all in this together. So today I woke up and I'm feeling pretty good. I look at my portfolio and everything is up, up, up. Bitcoin, in fact, has just formed a new high. So today should be one of those days where we just enjoy it. But I just looked at the outflow from F2Pool and it is very, very, very concerning. I'm wondering if there is going to be a dump, because normally dumps come when you don't expect them, when you're feeling pretty good and when you feel like everything is just going up and up and up. So that's why I wanted to create this video. I want to show you what I have found. So this could be coming right around the corner, but if not, maybe all the bulls just eat up everything that is being dumped, and we may not see anything. But I did want to warn you guys because the outflow from F2Pool is the largest per hour I've ever seen, ever tracked. It is enormous, enormous. All right, so thanks for tuning in, guys. As always, smash up the like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Thank you for pushing this channel to over 100,000 subscribers recently. I really do appreciate that. And those of you guys already in the chat, welcome. Let's get started. Let me change my screen here. All right. So looking at Bitcoin, like I said, it formed a new high. 57,775, and it looks like it wants to climb up to 58,000 in the near future. So here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. When things are looking good, that's when the unexpected could happen. Just like yesterday, when Bitcoin just it looked like it was going to form a new high, and all of a sudden it dumped down to about $54,000. And my video last night was about this. Was exactly about this. How whenever people feel too good, too greedy, that's when a long squeeze happens and you have a big, gigantic pullback and a lot of people get liquidated. In fact, I showed you guys yesterday that about 400 million longs were liquidated last night. And you know what? I hate to say I was right about it, but looking at BitBoy's video this morning, it seems like he got wrecked again, just like before. So this always happens. There's this phenomenon when people get too comfortable. That's when someone like F2Pool or the whales on F2Pool, they tend to just cause a long squeeze and liquidate a lot of people. I don't know if they're working with exchanges. People are theorizing if they're working with Bybit or whoever. I don't know, but it always tends to happen. So right now, today, things are looking pretty darn good again. Bitcoin is forming a new high. Seems like it wants to go to 58,000. But this is what's really, really, really concerning. Really concerning. This is the hourly chart from F2Pool. And the last time they had a massive outflow of 2,700 Bitcoins, Bitcoin fell down pretty hard, pretty fast, but overall, over long term, obviously, came right back up, right? But this happened at peak last time. 2,700 Bitcoins was a lot. And this time you could see this is even bigger. A 3,600 Bitcoin outflow within a single hour. That is massive. This is the biggest outflow tracked by CryptoQuant for the last few years. So obviously Bitcoin has not seen the effect yet. So this outflow could be, maybe it's just going to a cold wallet, or maybe they're getting ready to do some kind of major dumping that could be coming right around the corner again to liquidate all the longs, and again, for other reasons that I don't know of at this point. Also, keep in mind that, remember, Bitcoin futures ends at the last Friday of every month, right? So guess what? We're entering into the last week of the month. So futures on the 26th. So this is what I was saying about F2Pool, how I was afraid that they may be playing it both ways, where if they do a massive dump, they can buy a massive amount of Bitcoin shorts and profit off of that. And guess what? That is ending this coming Friday. So, which means that there could be an extended downturn for this week. There could be not only a dump, but this whole week we could see weakness on Bitcoin. So that I'm just putting it out there. I'm not trying to cause massive fear or anything, but we have seen this before, right? We have to learn from our past. Usually when F2 Pool does something like this, they cause a massive down spiral, right? And then there's a Bitcoin futures expiration happens. So you got to think that maybe they're profiting off of that. And then things go back to normal, right? Now, of course, if this coming week, there's some major announcement, Oracle, Apple, Amazon comes in, it could just, literally blow this out of the water, right? But I'm giving you guys, I'm connecting the dots for you guys because this could be coming this week, okay? Just want to point that out. So, like I've been saying, we need to spread this. A lot of you guys have been spreading it on social media, right? We need to let F2 Pool know that we are tracking them. We know what's going on and they need to stop it. Maybe it's not them themselves. Maybe it's the whales on F2 Pool. But this is the only pool where you have you can see a massive outflow out of the blue whenever things are doing good. And that's the thing. It's not like it's random all over. It only happens when Bitcoin does good. So that's the concerning thing, right? So why are they doing this? Well, they could be playing both sides, and that's very, very concerning, right? So just want to give you guys a heads up on this. I think this could be coming imminent future, and it could be coming throughout this whole week. All right. So wanting to get that out. Now, a lot of you guys may be wondering, well, what do I do about this? Should I do something? I'm a long-term holder. I saw it in the comments, right? Here's the thing. If you're a long-term holder and you're dollar cost averaging, you know what? You don't have to do anything because this will come and go. We know that if there's a massive dump coming, it doesn't matter. Within a week's time, within 2 weeks' time, we'll be right back to where we are, right? But I know a lot of you guys have been making a ton of money on altcoins, right? Hands over fist, and I'm going to get to that in a little bit. On a lot of these altcoins that have gone up hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of percent within the last few weeks. This will not be a bad time to take some profits out, right? A lot of you guys always ask me about when to take profits. This will not be a bad time, I'm saying, to take some profits out. Have some on the side, just in case. Doesn't mean you sell it all. Just take some on the side because you already made hundreds and hundreds of percent. No one ever loses anything by taking profits. No one gets hurt by taking profit. So this would be a good time to take some off the table, let it sit. If this week nothing happens and Bitcoin continues to go up and altcoins continue to go up, great. You still have massive majority of your portfolio that will do well. But if it does happen, where we do see some kind of correction, and a major one at that, then you know what? You have that cash on the side to be able to rebuy back for a much cheaper price. So this is one of those special occasions. Before I got introduced and found, we could track F2 Pool, things just seem to be random, right? Like we would say, oh, whales would just do this or do this. They're playing whalish games. But now we have kind of like a heads up of what may be coming because you can't ignore the fact that 3,600 Bitcoins leaving F2 Pool. It's leaving for a reason. It's not leaving because they're going to reinvest, let's say, into new miners. That's not the thing. It's leaving for a reason. Every time there's a mass exit, something happens with the market. So this would be a pretty good time to take some off the table, take some profits. Like I said, no one ever gets hurt taking profits. And you know what? If this next 2 weeks, nothing happens, there's some good news up, so what? There's always going to be a buying opportunity. So just want to give you guys a heads up on that. All right. Now, what else is there? Well, everything else is looking pretty darn good. I mean, without this little thing, like I said, I got up this morning, everything is blowing up today. Yesterday there was some weakness because of F2 Pool again, but they weren't dumping nearly as much as today. But things have recovered really well. Binance coin is back this morning. It was back up to 300, so they're about 290. Polkadot a little bit weaker today because they had a big day yesterday. Cardano kind of hanging in there about 110. But for the most part, a lot of these projects came up. Uniswap had a big 50% pump. It came down a little bit, but still holding really well. right? So today is a pretty good day, and look at market cap, 1.75 billion, trillion, not billion. So that's looking pretty good too. And looking at not this, if you look at Binance Smart Chain's total locked-in value for DeFi, it has gone up. Yesterday went down a little bit. Its peak before was 11.3 billion. Now it is at 12 billion. 12 billion. So that's why some of these DeFi projects I mentioned before, like Venus, like PancakeSwap, like Bakery Swap, they're all having a really, really good day. They climbed up really substantially today. And I do think this is an overall trend that will continue to happen. I think if you look at DeFi Pulse, they're still around 43.22, right? So after 43 billion, they really stopped because Ethereum is just too congested. And I showed this chart before, and I forgot to move my screen here. I forgot to, yeah, I moved that back. But I've showed this before where the daily number of transactions on Ethereum, it's maxed out. You could just draw a line right here. It simply can't go above where it is now, which is around 1.3, 1.4 million transactions. So until all the dApps figure out how to utilize a layer 2 solution or create their own, right, this will continue to be a problem, which could stall out most of these projects. Now, Uniswap is an exception yesterday because of that 50% pump, and that's because rumors are that version 3, they will make their own layer 2 solution that they will be able to scale even though they're on Ethereum. And that could be the case, but that's unconfirmed. That's rumorville right now. To create a layer 2 solution and get that deployed this fast is really, really difficult. Look at all the other layer 2 solution projects out there like Matic or Seller or OMG or even, what's the other one? I forgot. But it took a long time for them to develop theirs, right? So this will continue to be a problem. That's why a lot of the projects, DeFi project in Ethereum is still kind of just hovering. They're not weak, they're just hovering. But the projects on Binance Smart Chain can continue to go up because look at this. Binance Smart Chain transactions went down a little bit from peak, but even where it is now at 2.8 million transactions, that's more than double of what Ethereum is handling right now. Ethereum has 1.3, and Binance Smart Chain is already double of that. That's a pretty telling story of how many people have transited and moved to Binance Smart Chain and how many more transactions that could be conducted on there, right? So today for DeFi, you know, Binance Smart Chain stuff, definitely having a good day coming back, right? But like I said, if you made money hands over fist with all this DeFi stuff over the last few weeks, last few months, it would not be a bad time to take some off the table, to take some profits because you already made thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands off them. I would suggest maybe taking some off the table so you have cash on hand in case this coming week turned out to be pretty bad. Then you could buy back, right? So, and another thing too, I was mentioning about, you know, exchange tokens. You know, they have been really, really hot. I think that's a new trend because of the Coinbase IPO and look at what Binance Coin did. But a lot of the ones I've covered recently have done really well. For example, Voyager continues to do well. It was close to $7. You know, look at it. Voyager's $1.5 billion now, so it's definitely climbing up in a big way. Another one that I talked about that I really like is KuCoin, and they're at $5 now. They're up another $14, right? So pay attention to exchange coins. I think going forward, a lot more people will look at them and say, hey, if Binance and Coinbase is worth this much, then these should be worth that much, right? So then they will probably come up and equal that too. All right, so that's pretty much all I have to say. I'm going to do a very, very, very quick Q&A with you guys, and then I'll let you guys go because I have things to do. But yeah, things are looking pretty good, with the exception of this huge, massive outflow from F2Pool. That's what's concerning. KuCoin does give you passive interest just by holding KCS, and also they have They have token burning too, which really helps with the whole thing. Got 3,000 people tuned in. Thanks for tuning in. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel if you are new, right? I don't know if I'm going to have a stream later tonight. Maybe, but we'll see what happens. But obviously, this is not good. AnySwap is blowing up. Change in opinion or a news site. AnySwap, no. There's a lot of swap stuff out there. Now, there are some that's better than others. And I think AnySwap was actually founded by Binance. Their DeFi initiative of 100 million, I think AnySwap is one of them. I haven't done a deep dive on them, not yet, but I know what they do. So, a lot of Binance financed or a lot of DeFi projects on Binance Smart Chain is doing really, really well right now. RSR, honestly, I don't know much about them, so I can't really comment. Binance or Voyager token? Go with both. Whenever you have two really, really good options, you don't have to choose between them. Just go with both. Ian, appreciate that. I mean, I hear it all the time. Even members in Patreon, they're like, Polkadot is doing well. Let me sell some and buy Polkadot. And then all of a sudden, Cardano is doing well. Let me sell some and buy Cardano. No, Polkadot, Cardano, they're both neck and neck, great projects. Own a little of both. Then you don't have to worry about one flipping over to another or another, right? And it's the same thing with a lot of these very similar type projects. A lot of them are very promising. A lot of them do very well. So don't limit yourself. Diversify. The champ asks, why would they dump BTC? Because they could profit off of it from the dump. Bitcoin futures is coming on the 26th this month. So if they cause a massive downward spiral for Bitcoin, they could buy a huge short and make a ton of money with that. And then use the profits from that to rebuy it back to Bitcoin that they sold. And then they end up with more Bitcoins. So you could see how that could be a problem, right? Before derivatives happened, you couldn't do that. Before futures, you couldn't really do that. You couldn't really short the hell out of Bitcoin until it was introduced, right? So that's the good and bad about derivatives. But it's entirely possible with someone with that much stash on hand, they could definitely do it. Michael, yes, it doesn't mean they have to do it. They have to dump right away. They could dump slowly. 3,600 Bitcoins outflowing is a lot. That translates to over 200 million, right? So they could dump it right away, or they could dump it halfway or a third or whatever. We know that this dump yesterday, so look at how much they dumped before. So this is still pales compared to like before, but still on an hourly, this is massive. But you could see that yesterday, you know how we had that little flash crash, right? Where we went down to about $53,000. They only sold 800 Bitcoins, 850 Bitcoins at that time. So they sold this and then this. So it was 800 and 300. So about 1,100 Bitcoins. They sold 1,100 Bitcoins to cause Bitcoin to have that flash trap down, right? But look at where it is now versus before. So this obviously didn't happen yet. So I'm thinking they're preparing for something. Maybe waiting for Bitcoin to hit 58,000. Maybe even some even number. Maybe they're waiting for it to hit to 60,000, right? And then they're going to release it. And then I think this week could be a weaker week. And then they could profit off of Bitcoin futures. That's my theory. And I could be 100% wrong. But there's no outflow like this from F2Pool for no reason. There's always a reason for that. So we'll see. Like I said at the beginning, maybe there's some good news, some new company that comes in and just causes so much FOMO and everything goes up. It could overtake it. But if it can't, that may happen. Salt Peach, opinions on ADA. No, ADA's a good hold. ADA's a good hold. Narla swap on Binance Chain. I haven't heard of them. They're probably too small to look at right now. I think there's a lot on Binance Chain that I've talked about that have traction. So look at those. Ian asks, when will there ever be a limit to mining coins and manipulating the market? Do you think it will scare leverage traders away for good? It should, because this phenomenon seems to happen all the time when longs are too long or shorts are too shorts, right? Especially right now when Bitcoin just keeps going up and up and up. People get more relaxed. They say, okay, let's just, ride out the longs more, play with more leverage, and then they get short. I mean, they get wrecked. A lot of people get wrecked. There's always one side that wins and one side that loses, right? It's a zero-sum game. So you look at yesterday, 400 million were liquidated, right? But the day before, you could see 400 million shorts were liquidated. So it all tends to balance out at some point. But that's where, if you're playing leverage with massive amount of leverage, you should be scared because there could be a long squeeze or short squeeze at any given moment. But if you're simply holding and you're dollar cost averaging, then you don't have to worry about it because right now Bitcoin is going to go much higher, so it doesn't really matter. Hey, Georgian, my friend's all in on VGX. It's been great. Should he cash out, say, 85% of holdings? I can't speak to that. But I did say at the beginning, if you made a lot of money recently, a lot of money because a lot of things like exchange tokens, DeFi stuff has been going up to the moon, right? Why not? Why not take some off the table? It's not going to hurt you. No one gets hurt taking profits, right? When things are so hot, no one gets hurt taking profits. But, this really scares me, right? So I think there could be something massive coming around this corner, especially since this is futures expiration week. If this was just like the first week of March or midweek of February, it doesn't really matter. But the fact that it's coming on a Sunday, 5 days before futures expiration, I don't think that's a coincidence. I really don't. Just do the math, right? It can't be a coincidence. It can't be. And we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, that's it, guys. Letting you guys go. Overall, hate to ruin it. Today is a fantastic day. Bitcoin is at 57,700. It's making a new high. DeFi, Binance stuff is all doing very, very well, right? But just to warn you guys, 3,600 Bitcoins just left F2Pool, and this is futures expiration week, so something is brewing. Something is brewing for sure. All right, so thanks for tuning in. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel. I don't know if I'm going to have a stream tonight, but make sure you hit that notification bell. Follow me on Twitter and Facebook so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. Also, check out my Patreon page and my Teachable page. All right, until next time, guys. Bye-bye.